Hi, welcome to a new video dedicated to probably the smallest and the lightest selfie drum. This is the Airselfie E03 and you have some super tiny brushless motors, 5 megapixel camera sensor, able to shoot videos in 1080p at 30 frames per second. The advertised flight autonomy is not super huge, between 3 to 4 minutes. We will check in practice if it's true or not. And you have a 2S small 240 mAh LiPo battery, a built-in one, as well a 4 GB micro SD card to record something about 20 minutes of videos. So let's discover this small brother of the Zerotech Dobby. Okay, so let's open the box, and I received the edition with the power bank able to recharge the machine in the field. Okay, so what you have this, the drone itself. Wow, it's super compact. Let's compare to the Zerotech Dobby. And as you can see, it's much more smaller and thinner than the Zerotech Dobby. In terms of weight, it's super light. And now this machine comes with a rubber protecting belt, okay, to secure even more I guess the indoor crash. What comes next in the cover, you can find two sets of this I would say 6 blade turbo blades associated with the duct system, EDF duct system, to increase the power lift. So some instruction manual and printed in color, where you can find where to download and the application. It's a basic one, we will describe in a few instants. And I would say the more important, you will find some characteristics of the machine, is how to connect and where you can find the default password. So when you will broadcast your Wi-Fi to scan it and to charge your Airselfie, you will see this machine appearing with this Airselfie underscore something. It's a sequence of letters and a number, and you will have to type exactly this sequence. It will be your default password, okay? And what came next? The power bank itself. It's huge, okay? It's 12,600 mAh. You will need up to 6 hours to recharge it, and you will be able to plug your Airselfie to recharge in the field. And the last item you can find, this is a USB cable, okay, USB to micro USB with a connector, a converter to large USB to micro USB. Okay, that's all. And let's immediately focus a little bit on the machine. So you have this rubber band, and first remark, if you want to use a power bank, you will need to remove this power bank. It's not possible to fit this with a rubber band inside. It won't enter. Then you will have to check the installation. So insert, it's a little bit sometimes tricky to insert, sometimes it's partially blocked, okay, and then you need to long press, and you will have a red color and this green to indicating it's charging, okay. So to remove it, just slide it and it's down. So the total weight of this system, if you need some information, so the quadcopter standalone is 61.3 grams, okay, and with the power bank standalone 262, and in total you have something about 323 grams, okay. So more or less the weight of a DJI Park. So it's up to you. So let's focus a little bit on the machine. It's the casing is in aluminum, very well done, very well polished, and on the bottom side you can find two sensors. This very small camera used as a visual positioning system, okay, and this is an ultrasonic sonar system. also helping you to keep your altitude and also to detect, for example, if you toss it to take off or you present your palm to land. It will be very useful. And on the bottom side you can find a very tiny switch button. You will need to keep it pressed 1.5 seconds to turn on or to turn off the machine. On the rear side you have the micro USB port to recharge the built-in 240 2S LiPo battery, or if the machine is turned on, to retrieve your recorded file, okay, and you will open a folder on your favorite PC or Mac. On front you have this very small camera, no possibility to adjust the lens orientation. So this is a 5 megapixel camera sensor able to shoot in 1080p up to 30 frames per second, okay, and all video are saved into a built-in 4 GB micro SD card. So we have a Duke system. It should in theory improve the power lift, but it will on the other hand kill the top speed in forward-backward movement. No miracle, no free lunch, but it's good. It's not a flyer, a sporty flyer. So the more important will be to have the most stable flight hovering as possible. And I would say that I'm a little bit afraid from the original design because of the dimension, especially the distance between the two lateral motors are super small. Let's give an indication. So the distance is about 33 centimeters, and for the rear and front we have something a little bit more larger, something about 60 millimeters. And you know, the more compact is the machine, the more difficult it is to stabilize the machine, so to tune it perfectly in terms of PIDs. So it will be a super challenge despite the presence of the ADF to boost motor thrust and the general hovering performances. So I'm really afraid that the stability of this machine will be a really huge challenge in terms of tuning the PIDs. Anyway, the brushless motors, they sounds to be some 1104 or 03, something like this, very small. So the external diameter is something about 10 millimeters. Okay, so even more compact than the some 11. Is bigger than the 0703, but it seems to be smaller than 1104, so something in the middle, maybe 08 or some stuff like this. No real information except that they announced to be a 23,000 RPM, okay, and I guess with a 2S LiPo. So after that, the boxing is very well protected. In any case, you have this extra rubber band, okay, weighs about, if I can measure well, something more 2 grams, something like this, if you can measure well. 2 grams 6 extra. So be aware of that. It will protect this situation, but 2.6 gram extra gram is a lot for such machine. Okay, the power lift is not huge despite the Duke system, despite its brushless motors. First of all, it's strange, but this machine cannot take off standoff if you not toss it. So you have to launch it a little bit in the air, and to take off. It is not possible to take off from the radio control, the smartphone control. So now it's time to focus a little bit on the application. Okay, so you will have to download it. Okay, and the application that is for Android, you can find it very easily in Play Store, is Airselfie. Okay, so actually, this is the version 1.1.9. Okay, this is the latest available from the 5 of May. And when it's done, okay, you can turn on the machine. So you have to press more than 1 second, and you have this beep. And on this left side, you can guess a blue light here from the lateral side. So it's turned on, and we will need to connect to the Wi-Fi and go to the settings, and after a couple of seconds the Wi-Fi signal will be available in 2.4 GHz band. You have to connect, and the default password for me is 83C01FA7 in small capital letters. Okay, so you have to connect. The password is already registered, so I can connect directly, and then you will be able to connect to the application Airselfie already pre-installed. So you have some basic settings. For example, for the camera, you can select the delay between to take a photo. Can be useful. Okay, you have 3 seconds, 5 seconds, or 10 seconds to prepare your group or your group of person for the photos. And you can take some multiple shots from 0 photo up to 10 photos. Okay, the flying parameters, by default you are in intermediate speed mode, medium speed mode. But if you want the most stable videos, maybe the low will be more appropriate. And you will see that this machine is already responsive, okay, thanks maybe to the brushless models. And about, you have all the information, okay, the current version installed, the firmware, okay, currently is from the different firmware date on the last part of the codes. So let's return to the main application, and you have different selfie modes, 3 standard, selfie motion, and selfie mode beginners, and you have also a gallery, so where recorded file, etc. are here. Okay, so you can download it, photos, and record it. So let's start with the selfie mode. Okay, and immediately you have in real time the video feedback, and in fact it's not already dedicated to a tablet, some stuff like this, but you can control the machine thanks to this element. Okay, so it's not super obvious. Okay, and you can start recording here, and look that actually in the 720p preview there is absolutely not electronic stabilization. The latency is not so bad for Wi-Fi, something about 0.1, 0.15 seconds, not so bad in close range distance. But as soon as I will press the recording on top right, the field of view will be reduced in theory. Look that, it has been reduced, and you have a small electronic stabilization. Okay, you can guess that is all the FPV feedback is delayed, and you can feel that there is a kind of small electronic stabilization. Don't expect too much from it, and as soon as I will stop recording, the field of view will be reopened, and the FPV feedback is also degraded in quality. So is no more a 720p resolution for the FPV feedback. One is not recording. This mode is not my favorite, to be honest. And as I say, to take off, you will have to put your machine on the palm and slide it. Okay, so it's not really adapted for smart tablets, in my point of view, more for smartphone. Okay, so I will go back, and I will go more for the standard control mode, where here the screen is much more wider. Okay, and on top, so it's better for the preview, in my point of view. You have 3 types of control. You have the B mode, which is a button, so where you will be able, thanks to the virtual stick here on the left and the right, apply a nominal amount each time you press on it. You have the G mode, where is more kind of analogic control. Okay, you can be more precise. Okay, so some prefer. And you have the G mode, which is a gravity mode, where you will have to hold your tablet, and the built-in EMU of your tablet smartphone will at least control the right sticks, and just need, thanks to these virtual sticks here, to play with the throttle and the left and right movements. Okay, so at least one stick will be controlled with the built-in EMU of your smartphone tablet. So personally, the B mode is not bad, the button mode, and it's really good. And on this mode, you can take some photos. like this. You have the trigger. Okay. If it's working, it tends to be blocked. Okay. Oh, it's funny. It's okay, and now it's okay. It's recording. As you know, there is a small electronic stabilization when recording is turned on. I will turn off. Okay, so the field of view is now increased, and well, now it's time to see how this machine flies in practice. You don't have any extra video mode, so it's a little bit a problem. You don't have, for example, orbit mode and stuff like this. It could be very important for selfie drone. Okay, selfie flight mode when the machine is moving away from your group of person. There is not such advanced flight mode available. Okay, maybe by future application update. But let's check in practice how it flies, first indoors and then more outdoors in calm wind condition. Okay, so let's start indoors. I'm connected and I will start the application. So we'll use more the standard control. Okay, and I will flip. So I will use the button and I will press recording. As you can see, the preview actually is not in 720p. I'm a VGA resolution. So I will press recording. Okay, and I will need to put my the Airselfie on the palm. Okay, and press slide to take off. Okay, why isn't? Okay, say that I'm not. And I have to stand it. Okay, now it's done. I will move forward. As you can see, the machine is not super stable. You can see that in hovering there are some fluctuation. It's super hard to control, to stabilize such machine with such design. From my point of view, the size is too small. At least the distance between the props are too small, and it's a drawback. Okay, let's try to apply a selfie draw. Okay, I'm not touching anything. Recording, you can see a lot of variation. So even with the electronic stabilization indoors without any wind, the video recorded are not really acceptable. The quality is not so bad for such compact. It's a real 5 megapixel sensor, so the 1080p at 30 frames is really constant, no frame lost during recording. That's a good point. But look, in the altitude of the variation is huge, so we can probably have more some. The machine is really the PID mode should be tuned again. It's not super stable. Okay, look that. I don't know what's happened, and the machine stopped immediately and fall after less than 2 minutes of flight time. It's not super great. I will stop recording here. So in practice, you have less than 2 minutes of flight time. It's really bad in my point of view. The stability of the machine is also pretty bad even indoors. So now it's time to check a little bit outdoors how this machine is behaving. All demo flight outdoors is almost wind-free. So first things to do is to turn on the Airselfie. Press more than 1.5 seconds the power button. Okay, and just need to connect to the associated Wi-Fi into 2.4 GHz. As you can see, Airselfie connected, great. And then I will be able to run the associated software. I will more play with the Airselfie motion control mode, okay, and it's like this with one main, but maybe more the standard control would be more fun. So 3 possibility button, gravity mode with your tablet, or a joystick mode. So I would prefer more the button mode. And as you can know, you have to launch this machine to take off. It cannot take off standalone. So I will press recording, okay, and as you can see, there is a small electronic stabilization when recording is turned on, small one, but no miracle even in wind-free condition, okay, and it starts to take off. So I will install the quadcopter on my hand and okay, place the whole lid and through it. Okay, descending, and I will move backward. Oops, backward I said. It's relatively fast quadcopter. So where I am, I will descend a bit. Okay, and let's target. Hello. So the video feedback is not bad, but as you can see, the machine is not super stable. Maybe some PIDs optimization via firmware that can solve. It's absolutely wind-free condition, so this is the best result you can obtain. Even with the small electronic stabilization, you won't have much better. As you can see, it's not super stable in terms of video, so don't expect too much outdoors. Okay, it's a drawback, and we will measure how long this machine will fly. So okay, a little bit more into the sun. Okay, with the medium speed mode, the machine is quite responsive. Try to not look at the barometers is okay, it's more or less stable. But this machine is really under influence of the every variation of small wind, but the 1080p 30 frames per second video is not so bad. Okay, maybe turn into different light condition. You can see the okay, and it's landing because the battery is already finished. So not super long flying duration. As I said previously, something about 2 minutes. I will stop recording. Okay. Time to conclude about this Airselfie drone, the E03, and I will say immediately I don't recommend this machine for many points. First, the flight autonomy is ridiculous. Something about 2 minutes. Okay, so close to twice less than the advertising, and 2 minutes, it's so short. The machine is not powerful, so it cannot take off by itself. Maybe it's a pre-program like this, but it's like this. And after the battery voltage warning, then you have just a couple of seconds to enjoy your videos, and after the machine lands automatically. My main concern is about the stability of the recorded video. It is not acceptable even indoors. Despite the presence of the small electronic stabilization, the machine is absolutely not stable in the air. So the produced videos are completely, in my point of view, not stabilized at all. You can get dizzy with such kind of results. So if there are some room of improvement, If they manage to improve the PIDs and the I would say the stability of the machine by some firmware update, maybe the video will, at least for Windows application, will be more stable, but actually is absolutely not acceptable. Outdoors is simple, it's completely unusable. The video was so shaky, so not stabilized, that it's completely useless. You can have much better result with a cheaper for the $40 Wi-Fi device. Is a toys quadcopter. So it's a shame for a 250 milliamps powers, $250 sorry, machine. The charging time is long, close to 35-40 minutes to recharge the battery. Is long. Okay, so already I don't find any positive point for this machine. Is the lightest but the worst. Selfie, no advanced flight mode, nothing really interesting, and maybe a firmware update can save a little bit. So if you want such kind of gadgets, maybe if you want to spend some $250, why not? But really I don't advise it, at least versus the Zerotech Dobby, just slightly more expensive and got billions times much more better results. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please send it, and see you next time. Bye bye.